good Facebook morning on a Saturday. This is Fairy Grace with some random inspiration. This is a pecan rolled sweet thing with butter on it. Can it get any unhealthier? No. But what I want you to do today is write down 20 things that make you smile. 20 things that make you smile in your memory bank. So you see, this is something that made me smile some years ago when I did a ladies' retreat. It was a beautiful time that I was a speaker for them, and for breakfast the last morning, these were what was offered. And I really don't care for cinnamon rolls. I don't care for sticky buns. I know, forgive me for those of you that do, but I don't. But that's what was for breakfast. So I thought, well, when in Rome. And I took it, and then I saw one of the ladies that hired me, who I'm a huge fan of. She used to do my business finances, whatever that's called, but HLC, I forget the name, forgive me, Christina, but HLC, and they would help you with your home and your business and your finances. So they did that for me, because creative people, let's face it, we are limitless in creativity, but paperwork is not creative. Taxes are not creative. They're bondage to us. So it is smarter to pay someone just to handle that and keep you a legal beagle. Well, anyhow, Miss Christina, whom I love, she put one of these in the microwave, and then she added butter. And I thought, okay, well, when in Rome, let me try, because I love breakfast. Something you don't know about me is I'm like a hobbit. I have first breakfast and I have second breakfast. And I just do, and I usually roll right into lunch after that. So anyhow, when I had this, it was so delicious that it brings a sweet memory to me. It makes me smile every time I think of that moment, because it was such a refreshing 3-day retreat that I got to speak, which is what I feel the most alive when I do, and do what I love. And so I happened to get one of these yesterday at the store instead of making it, and there wasn't a local bakery to go to, which is where we had gotten ours. Christina had gotten ours. What memory do you have? What is something that you remember that of someone or some situation? Maybe it's something you ate, maybe it's something you did, maybe it's a trip you took, but you melt in its beauty of its memory. Even if things turned ugly, maybe it's like, well, it used to be when I went to Paris with my sweetheart and we had these croissants, but then she dumped me. Okay, great. Yeah, I mean, not great she dumped you, but okay, great. You found a beautiful memory. It didn't work out, but what a memory you have. So we shouldn't squash the things that turned sour. We shouldn't squash the beauty of the lemonade we drank before the lemons became just lemons, if that makes any sense. And I don't do that. There's some beautiful things in past relationships or past jobs that, yes, in the end, the season was over, and maybe it ended more broken or even destroyed, but I'm still not going to take away the beauty that we had. And some of you guys do that. You just put everything all encompassing. No, some of you are divorced and you made 4 beautiful children together. Celebrate that. You were at one point each other's best friends. Yeah, maybe they became jerk heads and totally ruined everything that you believed you were going to have. I get it, but let that go, because it only keeps you bitter, entangled, trapped in your own vice, and you're squeezing your mind and your heart to not release the beauty and the truth that you have now. Okay, so here's my sweet memory. It was with Christina and her sisters, and it was a beautiful retreat. I was so thankful to be a part of and have this experience that now, yes, I eat these every blue moon when I want to smile or actually be tangible in that memory. Another thing is you need to do for some joy in your life. This is Walt Disney World. That makes me tick. Like, Walt Disney makes me tick. Walt Disney World makes me tick. That's a passion of mine since I was born. And maybe that's because I'm a Floridian and I was born in Florida, and my father was in the Navy, and my parents took us to Disney World when I was little. And I remember it at the age of 2. And I just have had a love ever since then. Oh, look at that. Ruined my music to get a commercial, and then because I'm taping, I obviously can't do two things at once. All right. So do what you love and bring that memory home. So for me, it's going to Disney World and having a little bit of Disney splashed around my house. I used to have a kitchen that had Mickey stuff. I think I only kept one element now because, you move on, you grow, but it doesn't mean that passion doesn't still stay there. It just changes or transforms. So if you love pink, put your house pink. If you love sunflowers, put some sunflowers around. If you love boats, get some awesome boat pictures. Like, have memories of your past or things you want to do or just things that make you tick. And for me, it's Walt Disney World. A little secret about this little cup is I bought it at a yard sale. I know there's some things you maybe shouldn't share with the world, but I'm like, well, it's glass and it's high quality, and this probably was $14 or $18 in Disney, and I paid $1 for it. And I'm very thankful for it. I have to drink out of cups I'm inspired from. I honestly cannot drink from a cup in my house that does not make me smile. Another thing I do, like right now, I have my praise and worship music on. This is how I usually start my day. My husband was in here earlier. That's his Bible. Yes, when we leave the house, it has to go in the safe because he cherishes it so much, and it's just a part of him. We have prayer time together. We have Bible time together. Now, it doesn't have to be anything outlandish, like you need to have a whole sermon. A dear friend of mine, her grandma used to say, a good sermon doesn't need to be long, and a bad sermon better not be. And that is a memory that I still giggle and laugh over. So pull out those memories so you're laughing today. Pull out those memories so you have something to smile about, even if you're going through a storm or you're going through a rough time or you're just struggling in something. Pull out, I want 20 memories written down or spoken out loud that have made you smile in your life. But that's how we start our day out, because we realize the day may suck or the day may be plentiful. Whatever the day is going to bring, starting with worship and reading our word, and more importantly, together when we can, is such a dynamic duo to do both reading and praying and listening to worship. So I guess that's actually trifecta to just get you started from the day. I joke, you're going through too much and life is too rough when you drop something in your kitchen and you act like the sky is falling. You're like, gosh, and you act like basically you just had an earthquake on the Richter scale of 9. That is showing you that you have too much going on and you're too stressed and you need to decompress and you need to find an outlet and you need to deal with whatever heaviness or troubles or problem are going on. Because when you are balanced, when you are centered, when you are healthy of mind, body, and spirit, you could drop a bowl of potato salad, freshly made, and not curse and not scream and not be furious. And you're just like, wow, that sucks. And you just start cleaning it up. You don't even think about how bad it is. That's the difference of how you know where you are mentally and emotionally. It's the same if someone cuts you off. When you are balanced, when you do your worship and your prayer and you get yourself settled and situated for the day, whatever the day brings, good or bad or indifferent, when someone cuts you off, you're like, bless them. Maybe maybe they're late. Maybe they had an emergency. Maybe they are a jerk, and that would be a sucky way to live. But when you're out of balance and when you're out of tune, when you're going with the weight of the world and the trouble, someone cuts in front of you, you are mad as a hornet and you are ready to unleash the fury and the fire of Hades himself. And that's just showing you, okay, something's not right with me. Something's out of balance. I'm dealing with too much. I need to find an outlet. I need to either talk to someone or go for exercising or some mental stimulation, or something as simple as prayer and meditation and worship, and then thinking and writing down 20 memories that make you smile. This is a great memory. This is a cup given by a friend years ago, and I still love. Oh, and then this also is always fun. I drink some healthy teas. Balance of head and heart yields strength of character. You know, there was something that I found really interesting, because with the whole name it and claim it, or speak it and it comes to pass, or bring it into existence, the law of attraction, someone said something really profound, because yes, I do believe in that. But we also need to sometimes get the fine details, sometimes, not all the time. But someone was saying in a sermon, I'm sorry, not a sermon, a YouTube thing I was listening to. Sorry, I'm trying to rush because I see the time's ticking. But they said, as much as you want to believe something and you speak it out, like you say, I'm going to be a millionaire, and you write it down, and you think, okay, now it's going to happen because of the law of attraction. Well, the difference is you can say something in your mind or your heart, but if the other thing doesn't agree, like I should say, you can say it out of your mouth, but if your heart doesn't believe it and your mind can't conceive it, it's not going to happen. It has to be congruent. So maybe you want to be a millionaire, but maybe you need to bring that down to saying, hey, this year I'm going to make 100,000. Or I'm going to double. I think maybe doing something, I'm going to double whatever I make. Do it into realistic, for one, for the law of attraction. Not saying you have to. I'm just saying here's some fine-tuning things that may help. And make sure whatever you're saying, your heart and your mind believe it. So it's kind of the premise of this T. Balance of head and heart yields strength of character, kind of loosely. Thank you, Yogi. I'll do a pose maybe later because I know I need to stretch. Yeah, so whatever you say, you also have to believe it. So maybe you need to alter something or change something a little bit. All right, so I'm going to get started with my day. The last thing that I do, I'm going to be working. I actually have my book done, Wacky Jackie. So if you are interested in that, make a comment below. I would like to have a book signing or release for it, but with COVID, I don't want to jeopardize anyone in any capacity. So I haven't entertained how I really want to do a release on Wacky Jackie, but it's a children's book about being different. I read it to my 4-year-old, and when I was done reading it, I asked him, what's the book about? And he said, being different doesn't mean it's bad. And it was something of that nature, and I just marveled at it. So I asked him again later, and I said, what does Wacky Jackie mean? And he's like, just because that's what it was. Just because it's different doesn't mean it's bad. That's what he got out of my book, and I just marveled. I had another man from school read it yesterday, and he gave a great detail in one sentence of what Wacky Jackie is too, and it's basically, you don't need to conform to the world to be who you are meant to be. And that's pretty much the presence of Wacky Jackie, and it's done with some cute illustrations. I actually want to make an adult woman version of it in a fun way. But anyhow, so I'm going to get working on my thing. I've started out with starting with a great memory. And another thing I do, and I do this with our youngest, is I say 3 things I'm thankful for with him, because that rewires your brain, my friend. If you're grumpy, start to rewire your brain by saying 3 things you're thankful for. Now, for me, I don't limit myself to the 3, even though we know 3 is a powerful number. I actually just speak out all the things I'm thankful for. So I did it this morning as I was filling up our Berkey water tank over there. And I was like, thank you for this day. Thank you for this food. Thank you for the drinks. Thank you for the tea. Thank you for the clothes. I actually fell asleep on the couch. How sad is that? So if you saw me yesterday and you're like, why is she in that? I fell asleep on the couch. It was a good sleep. My husband's like, you look so peaceful. I left you. And then another thing, after I'm done saying my thanks, it just feels good. I take my natural vitamins. Sometimes I take St. John's wort. Sometimes I take holy basil. And I take other supplements like fish oil pill and H&A joint. Those are all things that sustain me, that fill me with life and make me healthy in the life I want to go. Same with these. My iron was so low. It was freakishly low. Even when I was pregnant, I had to do injections or whatever. They had to put it through my veins. So I had to help start getting iron in my body because I'm not a meat person and I'm not really a fruit and vegetable person. What kind of person are you? Carbs and sugar. But when I had my son at 36 or pregnant at 36, I realized I needed to change. So I still keep my yum yums, but I also incorporate the healthy stuff that I need to do. Did you get the flash of Nutty Buddy? That's not mine. That's someone else's in the house. And I ain't here to tell their business. So anyhow, as I'm working, I'm going to do circuit training, because if you're creative, you need to have circuit training, because you get overwhelmed by doing one task for a long time and you get sidetracked. We're like a computer where we have every tab open, and at any flash of a moment we may get distracted and want to go to something else. So I do circuit training. So I'll work on my books for a while, then I may go read something out of the Bible, or I may go for a walk, or I may get on my Gazelle and watch a show. I'll change my music from worship to kind of getting a little more funk sometimes by what type I listen to. Right now that's just relaxing, but I'm about to get funky town with it. Or I listen to carpool karaoke, or I listen to Pink, or some salsa music, or whatever. So, or some reggae. If I want to get a little melancholy and kind of tone it down but keep some energy, I'll do some country music. So just do you, my friend, today. Do you today. Let go of the past, let go of the garbage, let go of the lemons, and figure out how to make delicious lemonade and be refreshing. And actually lemons recharge you and give you energy. So what you think is sour, add some sugar. I'm a sweet Southern girl, so sweet tea was part of our food group. Add some sugar to that, add some healthy sugar, if that's even in existence. I actually do buy healthier sugar. It's still sugar, but whatever. And make it sweet. Your life should be sweet. Doesn't mean you don't have lemons floating around you, but you take hold of them, you grab them, and you make something sweet into your benefit, because lemons are actually a great source of energy and natural stuff to make you feel good. I don't know if I want to call it vitamins or whatever. Yeah, it's vitamins. See how healthy I am. So I'm Fairy Grace, and you're amazing. And I want you to comment below. What are some sweet memories you have? How have you made lemons into a delicious lemonade? I don't want to hear your woes. I just want to hear your celebrations, because what we meditate on, we bring back to life. So we kind of have to be careful with that. Not that there's not a time for venting and healing and bringing that out, but we're trying to stay on a high note right now. And of course, right now with COVID being slow, I always offer 15 minutes of life coaching to help you fine tune you and work on some areas, or purpose and passion. That's still available right now because of COVID, and my lack of work is your gain, and that's what we need to do to balance the scales. When things aren't balanced, we can balance them in a positive way, and that's what I feel led to do. So I'm Fairy Grace, and you're amazing. Share me your happy memories and some rituals that you do in the morning.